So I'm going to show you how we can create a simulate the camera page using Protopie, and so you can add some cool features to your prototype. So first what we're going to do is I just add a background to it, and then what you can do is you can add a camera layer to it, and you're going to tell the system, tell Protopie that which the size of the camera screen, right? The actual view of the camera. And now you add this layer, so everything will show. So everything that is in the camera will be shown over here in this area. So what you can do next is you add the button. You have two buttons. The first button is the photo taking button, another button is the switch button over here. So we're going to use those circles to simulate these two buttons. So the first one, right now we have some basic elements ready for the interface, and we're going to add some interaction to it. So this one, so we're going to add a trigger to the photo taking button. Whenever a user tap on it, the camera will stop, will pause, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to select that trigger, select the way how you're going to trigger this action. Tap, and then what's the action? The action is we're going to stop the camera. We're going to pause the camera to simulate the photo taking movement. So now we selected the camera, and we're going to choose the action going to be stop. First, don't forget to select the camera layer. So this is the camera layer, because sometimes you're going to have multiple cameras on the same interface. You're going to tell the system which one you are referring to. So this one, the camera 1. So you choose stop. It should stop the screen immediately. Stop the camera immediately once user tap on it. So next, this one, the switch button, the same logic. All you need to do just add a trigger. So the trigger gonna be the tap trigger, because you want to use it whenever you tap on it, you want to switch the camera. Of course, the action gonna be related to camera. So again, select this camera, and you're gonna choose the switch. So that way, user can click on it, and the camera will switch between the front and the back camera. So basically, you just realize the basic function. It should be working when you test it, and there, using your phone, you can scan. You can download the Protopie app to your phone and open it and scan this QR code. You can do the testing really quickly. Okay, so sometimes we want to simulate the flash effect, because whenever user click on this button, it will flash. So what we can do is we're very similar, and we can just draw a rectangle here. Make sure the screen size is same size with the actual view of the camera. All right, so now what you can do is you want to change the default status into the opacity into 0. So it's going to be transparent. But whenever user click this one, this button, it will be triggered. You can change the opacity into 100, and then reduce it to 0 again, so as to simulate the flash effect. So basically, what we're going to do here is we're going to add something to this camera action, right? So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to change the opacity of this one, this flash layer. So over here, what we can do is we can add an action called change opacity. So now we're going to change opacity to 100. Duration, we're going to change to 0. We're going to it happen immediately. Then we're going to add another one. We're going to change opacity into equals 0. But we want this one last a little bit longer. So 0.5. So it should be working as expected. Okay. So now it should be working. When you test it, you should be able to trigger those actions you added to those buttons, and